Hello, my name is JJ Garcia and I work for Micro Focus Government Solutions. Today, I would like to discuss with you a very interesting solution that I've been working with called SOAR. Now, SOAR is an acronym for Security, Orchestration, Automation, and Response. It's a solution stack of compatible software that, when used together, can allow an organization to collect data from multiple sources and aggregate it together. Today we will be focusing on the first use case. We will be aggregating information from multiple sources together and reposting it back to our SIEM tool. In this case, ArcSight ESM. Serving as the orchestration platform is Micro Focus Operations Orchestration, which is our runbook automation tool and serves as the backbone for many of our IT operations management suite products. Serving as an information source to query, we will be using our Universal Configuration Management database. This information, coupled with information that is obtained from the original ArcSight ESM event, will be aggregated together. What you're looking at right now is a channel that I've created specifically for this demonstration. This channel is monitoring syslog. What we will be monitoring for today are failed SU attempts on the ArcSight server. We're monitoring for an authentication failure. And this authentication failure, if it happens 3 times within 2 minutes, will kick off an action. In this case, we will kick off an OO flow via a shell script invocation of its RESTful API. As an argument, we will pass the event ID of the event so that when we call the OO flow, we can call back into ArcSight's own RESTful API to get details about the event. And some of these details will serve as a key into our UCMDB so that we can get information from that platform about the system under attack so that we can aggregate it together and ultimately send an event back to ArcSight ESM through the syslog connector. Let's go ahead and produce this event by failing to log into the ArcSight server using SU. I'll go ahead and do an SU with no password. That'll fail. I will do it a second time. And a third. Okay, we will see that we are failing to SU, and these are coming into the ArcSight console. Let's switch gears to Operations Orchestration Central. We will see the automation occur here. You will see a flow come into running state, and from there, it will execute, and it usually takes about 3 seconds. And then it's complete. Now let's go ahead and drill into it here. So what you're seeing right here on the right hand side of the screen is the runbook itself. You'll see that the first step is to get an auth token. From there, we will get events back from ESM using that auth token. And those the information that we gather from that event will be used to query UCMDB about the CI, and ultimately we will aggregate these two together into a syslog message. When we drill into get event details, you will see that the first step is an HTTP client post. And from there, we use this post returns back a JSON data structure to us. In fact, you can see it right here. Now, this JSON data structure is pretty large, so we're going to need a tool to get to the bottom of this. In this case, Operations Orchestration allows us to do a JSON path query. In fact, what we're looking for is the host name. And this one, we'll get the rule name that we want. Now that we have our host name, we can go ahead and query into the UCMDB. Using the host name, we want to get back the object ID, which then is in turn used to query back the large textual information about this server that is contained within UCMDB. But once again, we don't need all of it. In this case, we actually use operations orchestration's filtering capabilities to get back specific information based on regular expressions, or being able to strip strings and produce output. In this case, we gather OS vendor, our fully qualified domain name, our platform type, our OS version, and our OS type. Now these are then concatenated into a syslog message. Now we use variable substitution inside of the creating the syslog message, and then ultimately we pass the message that we create into a command. In fact, a series of 3 commands. First, we echo the message into a text file. From there, we use the logger command to read the text file and put it to var log messages. And then we clean up after ourselves using the name of the text file. Now, when we go back to syslog, we can see that indeed we created this event. And then we can go back to ArcSight and we will see the same event right here. We successfully demonstrated that operations orchestration could query multiple sources, concatenate the data together, and then pass it back into ArcSight ESM to be consumed by an analyst. Why do you care? Well, we're going to save the analyst time, and then ultimately that's going to have the effect of minimizing the amount of time that an attacker has access to a system. So let me summarize. Ultimately, we're going to enforce a process on events because the events will be managed in a consistent fashion through automation. This will save the analyst time, as they will not have to do manual research. The information will be gathered automatically. And ultimately, this will result in less time an attacker has to a system. Thank you so much for watching. Hope to hear from you soon.